Men, here's a question no one dares to ask out loud. Do you really understand female pleasure? If you think it's all about what happens in bed, think again. Most men are missing the mark, and women won't always tell you. In this video, you'll learn the secrets that no movie, magazine, or buddy ever told you. It might just change your love life forever. If you're ready to be a better lover, like, comment, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Let's talk about what really pleases a woman. Secret 1. Emotional connection is the foreplay she craves most. Many men believe that pleasure begins with touch. But for most women, it starts much earlier, with how emotionally safe, seen, and valued they feel. You might have all the physical technique in the world, but without emotional connection, her body may not respond. This is the most overlooked, and most important, secret in female pleasure. Think of emotional connection as a prelude that sets the stage for everything that follows. When a woman feels relaxed, supported, and desired for who she is, not just her body, her arousal becomes much more accessible. That's because the female brain is deeply wired to link pleasure with trust. She needs to feel that she can let go, and that comes from knowing that she's emotionally secure in your presence. Start with the small things. Do you really listen to her when she talks? Do you remember what she likes or how her day went? When you show interest in her inner world, she begins to feel special, and that makes her more receptive to intimacy. These gestures may not feel sexual, but they create the emotional safety her body requires to open up. Most men were never taught that foreplay can begin hours, or even days, before any physical contact. A thoughtful message during the day, an unexpected hug, or even washing the dishes without being asked all signal to her that she matters. This isn't manipulation, it's genuine connection. When she feels loved outside the bedroom, she's much more likely to enjoy being with you in the bedroom. Another critical element is how you respond to her feelings. Women are often emotionally attuned, and when they share something vulnerable, how you react says everything. Do you brush her off or try to fix it right away? Or do you simply hold space and let her express herself without judgment? Emotional foreplay is about being present, not solving problems. This connection deepens even more during intimacy. Look into her eyes. Slow your pace. Ask how she feels. Don't just go through the motions. Be fully there, not just physically, but emotionally. When she sees that you're truly engaged, she feels safe. And when a woman feels safe, her body and mind align to create deeper pleasure. Men often say, just tell me what to do. But that's not how female pleasure works. It's not a formula, it's a relationship. What worked last week might not work today, because her needs shift based on her emotions, stress levels, hormones, and more. That's why emotional connection is the most reliable foundation. It adapts, it listens, it evolves. It's also worth noting that when a woman feels emotionally neglected, it can affect her desire completely. She might still participate, but the experience will feel mechanical. You may sense that something's off, but not know why. That's why emotional connection isn't a luxury, it's essential. Without it, physical touch becomes less meaningful. And here's the beautiful part. Building emotional intimacy isn't just good for her, it's good for you, too. When you stop viewing sex as something you need to perform and instead focus on connection, the pressure melts away. You become more relaxed, more confident, and more attuned. This leads to better intimacy for both partners. In the end, the man who understands this truth stands out. He's not the one with flashy moves or a perfect body. He's the one who makes her feel safe, desired, and valued. That emotional foundation becomes the spark that lights up everything else. So if you want to unlock true female pleasure, start long before you get to the bedroom. Listen deeply, connect intentionally, love wholeheartedly. That's where real pleasure begins. Secret 2. Why the clitoris is the key. If there's one area of the female body that has been the most misunderstood, neglected, and underappreciated by men, it's the clitoris. For decades, society acted like it didn't exist. Movies skip over it, porn gets it all wrong, and too many men approach it with either hesitation or too much pressure. But here's the truth, the clitoris is the centerpiece of female pleasure, and knowing how to engage with it properly is a game changer. First, let's start with the basics. The clitoris isn't just a tiny button above the vaginal opening. What you see on the outside is only a small part of a much larger structure that includes more than 8,000 nerve endings, twice as many as the penis. The visible tip is called the glans, but underneath are internal legs, or crura, that extend down alongside the vaginal canal. It's an entire system of pleasure, designed solely for one purpose, to give a woman orgasmic sensation. The mistake many men make is thinking the clitoris is like a light switch. Touch it the right way and she'll be instantly turned on. But in reality, it's more like a musical instrument. It requires sensitivity, rhythm, and most importantly, feedback. One woman may enjoy circular motions, another prefers gentle tapping. Some love direct contact, while others need the hood to remain partially covering it. That's why the golden rule is simple: ask and observe. A good starting point is to approach the clitoris with the same care you'd give to touching a priceless object. Begin slowly. Think soft, teasing strokes, not rough or rushed movements. Use your fingers or tongue gently. Watch how she responds. Is her breathing changing? Does she move closer or pull away slightly? These are signs. Her body will guide you, if you're paying attention. Another important secret: build anticipation. Don't go straight to the clitoris. Warm her up with kisses along the inner thighs, lower belly, hips. Touch her with intention. Let her crave your attention there before you give it. This not only enhances the experience for her, but it also builds emotional excitement and connection. Here's something most men don't realize: many women struggle to reach orgasm through penetration alone. That's because the clitoris isn't stimulated enough during intercourse unless you're also touching or rubbing it in some way. This is not a flaw in her or you. It's simply how her body is built. Clitoral stimulation is the main road to orgasm for the vast majority of women, especially in long-term relationships. So if your goal is to help her reach climax, prioritize clitoral pleasure. You can use your hands, your mouth, or a small vibrator. Many women love this. Incorporate it into intercourse or let it be the main event. But most importantly, drop the ego. Be willing to learn. Every woman is different, and what thrilled your last partner might do nothing for your current one. Communication makes all the difference. Say things like, "Does this feel good?" Or "Tell me how you like it." If she's shy, guide her gently by asking her to move your hand where it feels best. Make it fun, not clinical. A woman who feels free to guide you without fear of judgment will experience deeper pleasure, and so will you. And one final tip: after she climaxes, the clitoris becomes very sensitive. Give her space and time. Many women need a break before they can be touched there again. Trying to keep going right away might feel overwhelming or even painful. So pause, cuddle, and enjoy the moment together. In the end, mastering clitoral pleasure isn't about technique alone. It's about presence, patience, and playfulness. Respect her body, learn her rhythm, let her responses lead the way. The man who does this doesn't just give physical pleasure, he builds trust, intimacy, and unforgettable connection. Secret 3: slow down. Here's something most men were never taught: women don't warm up as fast as men do. And that's not a flaw, it's biology. While many men can go from zero to ready in a few minutes, a woman's body and mind take longer to get fully aroused. If you rush the process, she might go along with it, but real pleasure? That takes time, patience, and presence. Think of it this way: men are like gas stoves, fast to ignite. Women are like ovens, they need time to preheat. But once they're warmed up, their sensuality runs deep and long. If you try to skip her arousal phase or move too fast, she may tense up, disconnect, or lose interest. But if you slow down and tune into her rhythm, she'll not only enjoy it, she'll crave more. This secret begins with a mindset shift. Intimacy isn't a race. It's not about getting it done. It's about connection, discovery, and shared pleasure. Slowing down doesn't mean being boring. It means savoring. It means exploring her reactions. It means being intentional with every touch, word, and movement. Start with atmosphere. A rushed, unplanned encounter can feel transactional. But when you take time to set the mood, soft lighting, music, scent, it tells her this moment matters. Let the tension build. Kissing, whispering, holding her close. All these things activate her senses and emotions, creating an experience rather than just an act. When it comes to touch, linger. Explore her body without a goal. Don't go straight for the breasts or genitals. Start with her neck, shoulders, back, the curve of her hips. Use your hands, lips, and breath to gently wake up her skin. Teasing is powerful. A slow approach builds anticipation, and anticipation is the fuel of female desire. The more time you spend helping her body catch up to her mind, the better the results. Women are highly responsive to the context and emotional tone of intimacy. If she feels rushed, pressured, or ignored, her body won't fully respond. But if she feels cherished and unhurried, her body opens up, literally. Slowing down also helps you communicate without words. A gentle pause, eye contact, the rhythm of your breathing, these are signals that say, "I'm here with you. I'm paying attention." That level of presence makes her feel deeply desired, not just physically, but emotionally. And that's what turns good intimacy into unforgettable connection. Here's a powerful tip: ask her to breathe with you. Matching your breath to hers can sync your energy, calm her nerves, and heighten her pleasure. Many women hold their breath when they're nervous or unsure. By guiding her to breathe deeply and slowly, you're giving her permission to relax, and relaxation is the gateway to arousal. Also, remember this, arousal doesn't always look like you expect. Just because she isn't moaning or grabbing at you doesn't mean she isn't enjoying it. Many women need a longer warm-up before they start showing visible signs of arousal. That's why slowing down is key. It gives her body time to feel safe enough to respond. For some women, foreplay may take 20 to 40 minutes, or longer. And that's okay. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing it right. When you stop watching the clock and start watching her reactions, you'll realize how much more satisfying it is to go at her pace. In the end, slowing down isn't just about her, it's about both of you. You'll feel less pressure to perform. You'll enjoy the process more. And most importantly, you'll build a stronger emotional bond that carries into every other part of your relationship. So the next time you're with her, take your time. Linger, savor, listen. You'll not only unlock deeper pleasure in her, you'll also discover a new level of confidence and connection in yourself. Secret 4, it's not about the orgasm. For many men, pleasure is often measured by the climax. It's the finish line, the goal, the signal that the job is done. But if you want to truly understand female pleasure, you must let go of that narrow definition. For women, the experience itself often matters far more than the orgasm. Yes, orgasms are wonderful, but when you focus on the journey rather than the destination, everything changes. Women are not machines with a single button that needs to be pushed. They are emotional, sensual beings who want to feel connected, desired, and completely immersed in the moment. Think of it like this, men are often goal-oriented during sex, but women tend to be process-oriented. It's not just about what happens at the end, it's about how it feels along the way. The looks, the touches, the whispered words, the laughter, the sense that she is adored. If all you focus on is getting her off, you may miss the magic happening in between. Some women can't climax every time, and that's completely normal. That doesn't mean she's not enjoying it. When a man reacts with frustration, disappointment, or self-doubt, it creates pressure that makes future pleasure even harder for her to access. But when you stay confident, relaxed, and loving regardless of the outcome, she feels free to explore without fear of letting you down. This is one of the most powerful truths about female pleasure. When the pressure to perform disappears, true pleasure begins. A woman who feels emotionally safe and unconditionally accepted is far more likely to become aroused, and to climax, because she's not worried about meeting expectations. So how do you create an experience rather than a goal? Start by being present. Focus on how her body reacts to your touch. Listen to her breath, her sighs, her movements. Respond to her in real time. Don't rush. Don't jump from one thing to the next like you're checking items off a list. Stay with what's working. Let it build naturally. Create space for intimacy that doesn't have to lead to sex or orgasm at all. Cuddling, massaging her back, or just laying together while talking and holding hands can be deeply pleasurable. When you show her that you value closeness for its own sake, she'll trust you more. And that trust leads to deeper physical connection when the time comes. Words matter, too. Tell her how beautiful she is, how good she feels, how much you enjoy just being with her. Speak in a way that makes her feel seen and cherished, not judged or evaluated. When she hears love and appreciation in your voice, she feels more confident in her own skin. If she does climax, that's wonderful. Celebrate it, but don't make it the only thing that counts. And if she doesn't, remind her that you still loved every second. That you weren't there just for an outcome, you were there for her. That reassurance builds emotional closeness and paves the way for even more pleasurable experiences in the future. Ultimately, the men who give women the greatest pleasure are not the ones with the best moves or the most experience. They are the ones who understand that female pleasure is layered, emotional, and fluid. They take their time, they stay present, they make their partners feel safe, wanted, and adored. So shift your focus from results to connection, from climax to closeness, from performance to presence. When you do, you'll unlock not just her pleasure, but your own. Secret 5, confidence and communication. When it comes to female pleasure, technique matters, but confidence and communication matter even more. A man who is confident in himself and open in his communication creates an atmosphere where a woman can truly relax, trust, and let go. Without these two traits, even the most skilled lover will fall short. Let's start with confidence. This doesn't mean being cocky or aggressive. True confidence is calm, respectful, and secure. It's the kind of energy that says, "I'm here, I want to learn, and I'm not afraid of getting it wrong." Many men feel insecure in the bedroom because they've been taught that they're supposed to just know what to do. But no one is born knowing how to please a partner. It takes curiosity, humility, and practice. Confident men aren't the ones who assume they're perfect, they're the ones who are comfortable not knowing everything and willing to learn. That's what makes them irresistible. Women pick up on that energy. When you touch her with confidence, she feels safe. When you kiss her like you mean it, she melts. When you're relaxed and present, her body responds with trust and arousal. Now let's talk about communication, because this is where so many men miss an incredible opportunity. Great lovers talk to their partners. They ask questions, they listen, they invite feedback, and they do it in a way that's playful and pressure-free. Asking, "Do you like it when I touch you here?" Or "Tell me what feels best" doesn't make you look inexperienced, it makes you look attentive. And attention is sexy. Women often hesitate to speak up in bed because they don't want to hurt your feelings or feel judged. That's why it's so important to make it easy for her to share. Let her know you want her guidance. React positively when she gives it. And if she's shy, read her body language, her breath, her tension, her movement will tell you just as much as her words. Here's a powerful phrase to use: "I want to learn what drives you wild." When you say that, you're giving her permission to open up. And if she senses that you genuinely care about her pleasure, not just your own, you'll unlock levels of connection and excitement that go beyond the physical. Another important aspect of communication is talking before and after intimacy. These moments set the tone. Beforehand, flirt, compliment, express desire. Build the mood with conversation that makes her feel special. Afterward, don't just roll over and go silent. Ask, "What did you like most about that?" Or simply say, "You feel incredible." These small expressions deepen emotional intimacy and make her feel valued. Confidence and communication also help you navigate the inevitable challenges, like when things don't go as planned. Maybe she's tired, distracted, or not feeling aroused. Maybe something you try doesn't work. Instead of panicking or retreating, you stay grounded. You say, "It's okay. We're just exploring. Let's find what feels good together." That's what makes a woman trust you, and trust is the foundation of great sex. A man who leads with confidence and communication becomes unforgettable. He doesn't need tricks or fancy moves. He creates an experience built on presence, respect, and emotional connection. He shows her that her pleasure matters. He isn't afraid of learning, asking, or slowing down. And that's the man she'll remember. That's the man she'll crave. Because he doesn't just make her body feel good, he makes her feel seen. So if you want to unlock the full potential of female pleasure, start here. Stand tall, stay curious, and speak from the heart. These are your most powerful tools, and they'll take you further than any technique ever could. Finally, understanding female pleasure isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, patient, and passionate. When you take time to learn her body, listen with confidence, and create true connection, you become unforgettable. Real intimacy starts with care, not performance. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, comment your thoughts, share with a friend who needs this, and subscribe for more powerful insights every man should know. Because pleasure isn't just physical, it's emotional, and it starts with you. You're not just becoming a better lover, you're becoming a better man. Let's grow together.